Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Commander's Forge. I am the imposter, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, the Commander's Forge is an area for me to talk about magic and Commander in ways that I enjoy it. And today we're going to get a little heavier, because today we're going to talk about me. And mainly just me. Now, one of the things I've always suffered with, especially within the magic community, is that feeling that I'm not where I belong. I don't belong in the friend groups that I've made. I don't belong where I am. I'm an imposter. And, well, it may not technically be true. It's just how I think. That's how my brain works. It's real hard for me to validate myself. And I can't really blame anybody but myself. You see, I have this issue with me. And that's basically that I don't like myself. I hate myself. And I can't give you any rational reason why. It's all just random constructs that I've made in my head. But that doesn't make them any less real. And I just can't seem to let them go. So, yeah, that's what I've been struggling with recently. And that's not something that's easy to admit. I try to put the best foot forward in everything I do. And it just feels like sometimes I come up short. And by sometimes, I mean most times. I didn't expect this to last as long as it did. I threw it together on a whim. And I've been running with it. And I'm going to keep running with it. But this is me telling you about me. I've spent years, literally spent years, hiding from people. Not that I don't like to talk to people, I always get that idea that they're not going to like me because I don't like me. Which means they obviously must hate me like I hate myself. I wish I could learn to not hate myself. I wish I could just take all of the bad that's in my head and throw it away. But I can't. And that's why I always put myself down. It's why I'm finding it hard to ever feel anything besides numb. I'm just a nerd on the internet, right? I don't really think anybody cares about my opinions. I'm just yelling into the void. I'm just standing on the edge of the abyss. There's a lot wrong with me, and I know that. I've just given up all hope of ever fixing it. Now, I don't want this whole episode to just be a downer, and I swear it won't. But this is stuff that I needed to get out there, get off my chest, and talk about. I've suffered with anxiety and depression my entire life. To some very, very low points in the past that need not be rehashed here. And, I just wanted to, say thank you to the people that do listen. I wish there was more I could say about that, but thank you. Alright, that's enough downtime. I'm going to kick this to our ad, and then we will be right back. Hi, if you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you some of the reasons why I started using it. For one, it's free. There's no subscription fee. You don't have to pay for anything. Second, it gives you all of the editing software you need for everything you're going to do. Beyond that, it helps distribute your podcasts to so many different places, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. It's amazing. Not only that, but they offer to sponsor you. Right there. That's it. Just by recording podcasts, they will pay you based on the number of listens it gets. It brings everything you need into one place. And if you want to try it out, you can download their app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started. Now back to the episode. And welcome back. Now, I promised this episode wouldn't be all downer. So let's talk about some of the ways that I've gotten through some of the mental issues that I've had. First off, there's the ever-abundant friend of mine who likes to remind me from time to time, especially when he sees that I'm going through a rough patch, that I am not allowed to quit. And that goes for everyone else. I am not allowed to let my selfish thoughts take away something that would in turn hurt my friends and family. And on top of that, I am stubborn. And I'm always out to prove people wrong. And that includes myself. I will fight to prove anybody wrong if I believe they are wrong. And that's what I have to do with myself. Like that voice in the back of my head that's always telling me I'm not good enough. I turn around and I tell it, you know what? I'm going to show you I'm good enough. I'm not just going to show you I'm good enough. I'm going to be good enough. And that's all there really is to it. It's two sides of my head that are fighting. And you know what? I know what side's going to win. And it might look dark. And you might have thoughts like that too. But we're strong. We will get through it. We will not let the other side win. Because we're stubborn. See, I always held firm to the thought that as long as part of me is willing to fight, how bad could I really be? That said, I know the issues I have are mainly in my head. And that doesn't make them any less real. I just chose when to act on them, when to defy them. And you know what? The leap that it took for me to start this podcast was this side of my head saying, you know what? Do it. So if you're ever on the fence about something, and the only person holding you back is you, the best thing you can do is make a decision. Yeah, I know this is going to be a relatively short episode, but that's basically all I got for you. You are not allowed to quit. Alright, now, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember all that normal stuff. If you liked it, consider subscribing, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you next time. That brings us to the end of the podcast. I would like to thank Nate and Erica Jacobs for designing my logo, and Cody Mulphy and Ian Foss for allowing me to use a sample of music from their band, The Crypt. The podcast can be found on YouTube by searching Commander's Forge. The podcast is Commander's Forge, that is CMDR_Forge on Twitter. I can be found on Twitter at BentzMr, that is BENTZMR. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time, and until then, here's to fun games and sick plays.